Hello friends, welcome to another vlog. The slowest bodice vlog of all time. I am experiencing extreme focus problems today. Like I just can't stay on target to save my life. So what I've decided to do is sew the lining together because that is just a few simple seams and so easy to sew and will make the ball start rolling, you know, get the creative juices flowing, get me closer to this. So I thought I would start out with that and see how it goes from there. But I want to get at least something done today, and sewing the lining together is definitely a valid thing. It needs to get done. It's a thing that needs to happen. Also, I did order more boning because I realized that I don't have enough long boning for this, and there's a bunch of long boning in this. So, or I had, so I need like, I needed a whole bunch of 13-inch bones, and it turns out I had a whole bunch of 12, 12 and a half, and 13 and a half, but not any 13s. So I went ahead and ordered those. They are already shipped. So the place that I get my boning is awesome. If you look up Delicious LLC, like the word delicious and then LLC, I'll leave a link down below for you guys, but that's where I get mine. So yeah, I ordered from them. They're super fast and they send stuff out like way faster than their website threatens to. I've also been working on my buying guides, shopping guides, whatever. I think I'm going to split it into more than one video. Right now I've decided to do one on supplies and one on ready-made items, so that, because those are sort of two different categories. Like, it's really hard to categorize this stuff actually. They seem to be sort of focused on historical costuming, although I think cosplayers could still get stuff out of these places that I'm going to reference. I've been thinking maybe later I will do a cosplay one as well for like random cosplay supplies, like when you need 400,000 Sharpies because you're gonna dye your wig in a Sharpie dye bath. Did you know that's a thing? It's a thing and it's awesome. Anyway, so I'm working on those. So I've got a complete list and I'm starting to script it because I don't really need a script, but I need to like at least focus on vaguely what I'm gonna say. Like I need talking points. I need bullet points. That's what I'm doing. So I'm going to start filming that soon for you guys because it seems like Christmas is the time that you might want this stuff. So I will put that out shortly as well. But yeah, I'm going to get started on sewing some lining pieces together. I am going to show you a little modification I'm going to make. This number 10 here, so I did number 1 and number 2. This is all sewing your fashion fabric together, and I need the piping done in order to do at least one of these seams, so I'm just holding on that for a minute, and then probably the next thing I'll do is cut the material for piping. But this says repeat steps 3 to 9 with your lining fabric. Okay, great. But then there's an A, B, and C, which sort of implies that you're going to put your boning into the lining because it's under the lining section. That is not what's going to happen. I'm going to put my boning into my bodice section, into the fashion fabric, which has been flatlined. So I'm not putting boning in the lining. The lining is just sort of free floating. So I don't know if you guys make these sorts of things, and if so, which way you do it, but every accident garment I've ever seen has had the boning like straight into the fashion fabric. And especially since it's interlined and it's just going into a bunch of seam allowances and then of course into the darts, there is an inner lining I can sew to, so that is what I'm doing with this. I am not sewing it into the lining. Okay, this fun situation that you're looking at is where I popped this guy up in the air, like slow-mo, and pins went flying. I'm recreating it for you. And then rained down. Okay, I gotta turn around. And then rained down on me. Like, I could hear Peter Gabriel singing Red Rain onto me, all over me. There was pins everywhere, and now they've hit me, bounced off me, and gone in every direction. So there's pins all over this room now, and I don't know where they are. You know, I really love it when you guys comment to tell me that you watch my channel because I'm so real and I show you all the real things that happen, because that makes me feel much better about it when I come on here and I'm like, about pins flying everywhere. And like, I just feel grateful that my eyeballs are still intact. Like, I am still a functional human with sight. So I won that race that just happened. But like, man, when stuff like this happens, just know you're not alone. Okay, this is literally why I have this pin cushion. because I can just toss things at it and they stick to the pincushion. Okay, I do this because I do this with corsets. So when I have a bodice like this, I lay the pieces out like this. So I don't have to like keep referring to the pattern to figure out which piece is which. I just know that they go together in this order. And that makes sewing them super easy. So when you have corsets, the pattern pieces all look like this one basically. And they all look almost identical. So you kind of need to do this to make sure that you have them in the right order. This is a little bit like overkill, but it helps me keep stuff straight and not to lose any pieces. And my sleeves are over there. I have to make the holes in the darts. Ugh, I forgot about that. Cool. Alrighty, so I used pencil to mark in the darts. Sometimes I use a chalk pencil, sometimes I use just a regular pencil. This isn't going to show. It's on the back side of the lining. Okay. If it's somewhere it might show, I usually try to use chalk pencil so it'll come out, but yeah, it's fine. So I'm going to put the darts in, and then I'm going to sew all these together. And then we will have a lining, and I will be one step closer. Okay, we have a very busy lining. It's extremely busy. I kind of love it though. Like, it's ridiculous. I like ridiculous linings. I think all like coats should have ridiculous linings. I'm about to also hit up the sleeves here. They do not go in because they go into the actual sleeves first, and then the whole sleeve gets set, and then you do some wizardry on the inside. So I'm gonna do these, and then today's goals will be accomplished. I still might do more stuff, but today's goals will be accomplished. By the way, I've also made a mini list here of stuff that bodice is not helpful. So these are some of the things I need to do. Although half of these things are about the buying guide. No, 1/3 of the things are about buying guide. 1/3 of the things are about sewing masks for people for Christmas presents, because that's a great thing to give people for Christmas. So I'm gonna do that, which also leads me to all these fat quarters that are sitting here so I can make masks out of them. So yeah, I have a list because I am, like I said earlier, having a problem focusing. So I'm gonna use this list to help me stay on target, at least while I'm sort of floundering. Behold sleeves. I can come over here and find my chaotic list and cross off sew lining. Bueno. So I'm either gonna do some of this, or I'm gonna do some of this, or I'm gonna go downstairs and watch TV. I'm gonna start with going to see how my husband is downstairs, and we'll see if I come back. Hello, how's it going? I had epic mail day yesterday and failed to show it to you, so I thought I would bring some up today to show you. I got some wonderful chocolate from Scotland from the sender of this, so if you know who you are, thank you very much. Your chocolate was lovely. It's not all consumed, don't worry, but I did try both of them. I also got a person sent me a card that was a postcard that had their cat on it. It was a Halloween card. I was down in my Halloween card like montage that I have going downstairs, so it's not up here. But whoever sent me this envelope knows who they are. Okay, and then I got this package, which is off the chain. But this lovely individual, who is actually a costume designer, sent me, look at that, 4 thread heavens. Like, I will never need thread heaven ever again, thanks to this human. So thank you so much. And then this is their favorite chalk, which I am dying to try. Apparently, it leaves a little bit of a waxy residue, so it melts away like it can be ironed off. It kind of feels like soap almost. And it's a Korean brand that they said you can only get in the garment district in New York City, but I bet you can find it in LA because there's a lot of Korean folks in LA, as it turns out. And there's a fabric district, so I bet you that I can find this there too. But I will never need any because they have sent me enough to supply me for my lifetime. So I'm very excited about this package. Thank you very much. You know who you are. And then I got this package from Willoughby and Rose, and it is off the chain. I'm in love with all of it. There's some of it not up here because it's in my cupboard downstairs. I got pumpkin butter, which can't wait to try. She also sent me like these crab chips that are spicy, and she says they're really good, and there's no shellfish in them. I'm allergic to shellfish, so I don't know what crab tastes like. So essentially she sent me a way to try kind of what crab tastes like without having to deal with the whole fish concept, which I am highly pumped on. There was also an autumnal candle, which I am super into, and also a jar of peanuts, which I have already like eaten half of. So in addition, I got some Earl Grey tea. She did this for me because I sent her some fabric, and also, well, it was for the Noel, one of these basically, Hussif kit, but also for COVID, and she's super sweet. So this sticker is exactly my cat. This is Aries. So this guy's gonna go on my car. I actually already have one of these. It's over there. You can see it. It's super shiny. Woo! Did you like my woo? Anyway, so this one is awesome because it's going to go in my car, and it will represent my cat, and it will really annoy drivers behind me. Okay, maybe I'll put it in the window next to me. I gotta figure out how to make this not be annoying. I'll put it low on my car. I got some lip balm. I got Yoda wax. Oh my god. Who's hype on that? She sent me this card, which is a thank you card. I have this exact same set of cards. Like, I was like, Kate, we have the same cards. And then lastly, I got 3 of these Hussif kits, which I am so excited for. This one is called Youngling. It is the Baby Yoda kit. It is amazing. By the way, all of these are sold out. But she restocks them frequently, like maybe monthly. So, you know, it's definitely worth checking in on her website from time to time. This one I believe is Peggy, and this one I believe is Hedge Witch. So both of these are beautiful, and man, do I need to start getting... I need to stop sewing this dress and get it friggin' done so I can start making all of these guys. Sigh. I have a feeling some people are getting their Christmas presents after Christmas. But I am super hype. This one is mine. This will be my Hussif. I'm sure I'm gonna have like 12 Hussifs by the end of this, but anyway, I'm very excited about them. Cannot wait to make these. It's like I did one of these in like 5 hours, which means I can do one a day, which does not mean I can make 7 a week, but it definitely means that I can make these fairly quickly, which is exciting. Okay, so that's that for this mail time. I am super excited. Thank you to everyone who sent stuff to my P.O. box. You're awesome, all of you, and amazing people. I really very much love to read your letters and get your postcards and stuff. And yeah. Okay, so I need to cut some bias strips out of black and gold. So black is actually in my closet, and I'd have to clear out some space to make that happen. So I think I'm gonna be lazy and do the gold first, but maybe I should just do the black first and get it over with. All right, I'm gonna do that. So I gotta clear off a bunch of this table to make that happen. Success! We have many bias strips cut here, and lots of fabric that was sort of, it's not wasted, it's just like cut, because I wanted longer strips, but that means you cut less cuts on bigger, yeah. You all know how to do math. Anyway, it's not great. Like there's a big old chunk right there, and there's some black underneath it, and there's even an extra chunk here. I did cut this one like more narrow, so it was like 24 inches or something like that, which gave me a big swath left over up here, which is good because I'll make the cuffs out of that. But yeah, I haven't figured out how to satisfy my need of making bias strips that are long enough that I don't have to seam the living daylights out of them, but also don't waste a gajillion. I mean, I'm not going to waste it, I'm going to use that fabric, but also it's annoying. I think you all know what I mean. I'm going to stop talking, it's 4:30 in the morning. I'm going to go to bed. Hello, it's tomorrow. Actually, it's kind of actually the day after that, because it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:20. My husband and I were watching Lovecraft Country. It's really good, but it is horror, and it's also about like racism in 1950s America, so it is not for the faint of heart. But I decided I should do something today, so I'm gonna go ahead and make some piping. I don't think I'm gonna make all the piping, but I'm gonna make some piping. I'm gonna at least get enough piping done to be able to sew the bodice together, which means I need to do these 2 seams worth, and these require, I think, 21 inches of piping each. I'm going to go ahead and measure that one more time and then make at least 42 inches of piping. And if I feel like it, I'm gonna make more. It shouldn't be that hard. I have 1 strip here that's like 46 inches, so that should do me just fine. And I'm mostly like, oh, I'm not really good at making piping yet, but not gonna get good unless I do it, and I don't really want to waste a bunch of fabric, so if it's not perfect, it's not perfect, and that's the way it is. So I'm gonna do that. I'm also going to prep, because tomorrow I'm going to film another 20 questions with Amy Combs. Combs? I think it's Combs. Hi, I can use words that mean things. I don't think she's ever said her last name out loud to me, because why would people? We don't do that. So I'm going to go ahead and prep for that. So I'm going to pick her questions, and then I have to get up early by noon to go ahead and record that with her. Sorry, I'm just cleaning up while I'm talking to you, which is probably really annoying because I'm just like, I keep looking away at other things. Anyway, I'm gonna pick her 20 questions. I'm gonna do that while I'm a little bit coherent. And then I'm gonna start making piping, which should be fun. And I'm gonna see how far I get tonight. And if I don't get a ton done, that's okay. I just really need to make sure that one set is done so that I can start sewing the bodice together, because that's a goal, is to get the bodice together. I mean, the bodice isn't gonna get finished this week anyway with the rate I'm going, because clearly I am not in it to win it this week. But I do believe in incremental progress, and I do believe, now I'm just moving chairs around, that even just spending a little bit of time in here doing stuff every day gets it done eventually. Okay, so I have done that, and now I'm coming back and I am starting the process, tucking a teeny tiny cord in there and pinning it up. A lot of people are going to come back here and tell me, you don't need to pin that. Trust me, peeps, I, Noelle, need to pin this. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pin it, and then I'm going to go sew it. So there you go. By the way, so far I am reading Tanya Hoff's The Enchantment Emporium. I gotta say, this is a really weird one, guys. So far, it's about a group of magical people who, the men grow horns and fight each other in the woods at least once a year. Like, you don't have to look at my phone the whole time. So the men grow horns and fight each other once a year, and the women, it feels like the women run, the aunties run the family, but the men are like prized above all else. So I'm like, what? And then they marry them off to their cousins so that they can keep the magical blood. It's really weird. And it's all like set in Calgary in Canada. I'm just like, whoa, that's weird. I have a very good friend who lives in Calgary, so I'm just like, I mean, obviously not real, but still I'm like, whoa. So yeah, it's very strange. So the grandma apparently dies, although the aunties don't think she's dead, and leaves her a storefront. So she moves, the main girl has to move away from her family, and she can physically feel that. And she's supposed to go like run her grandma's store, which got left to her, but she's mostly just checking stuff out right now. So this is how far I've gotten on it, and I really don't know what's going on here. I will come back and report to you if this book stayed this weird, because it's real weird. If you read this and it gets less weird, leave me a comment down below. Okie dokie, we got one piece of pretty well done piping. Like, there's no twists in it. I'm super happy with it. It's nice and tight and small. This from here to here is a ½ inch, which is my seam allowance, so that's fantastic. There is in fact a join in there, and I feel like that's going to be just fine. So I'm pretty happy with this guy, and I will use it to sew into the bodice. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. It depends on if I decide to just make piping all day tomorrow. Because this took me quite a while. I did have a mistake that I learned, which is when you're making this, if you have a join in there, when you sew, you would have had to watch the tutorial I put up last week, where I linked you guys off to another guy's tutorial. So when you have the black done, you then sew the gold down flat, and when you do that, this seam needs to be facing out, not in, and I had done it wrong. So I in fact had to seam rip this entire thing out super carefully because I did not want it to fray at all. And then iron out all the holes and then sew it back on the right way. So I did a little double labor. I learned a solid lesson, which I will undoubtedly forget next time I need to do this. But I'm gonna write it on my board so I remember for next time that I'm doing it while I'm doing this project. But there you go. Now I know. So I learned a lesson tonight. I also did prep my 20 questions. I did more than just prep my 20 questions. Actually, I went through the original list and there's a whole bunch of questions I'm just never going to ask anybody because they're like weirdly phrased or they're just not the right questions. So I actually culled the original list also and I got my set of questions for tomorrow done. So I can sleep in just a little bit longer, but I do have to wake up somewhere around noon, which is very early for me. And considering it's 4:30 right now, I should go to bed. So I am going to abandon this piping. I feel really good. I did this super slow and I did it slow on purpose because I wanted to get it right, and it's my first time with something I'm actually going to like sew onto a garment, so I wanted to make sure these are nice. So that's fine. I'm willing to spend the time doing this. So I will get faster over time, but for now I think slow and steady wins the race. And I also like trimmed this down to exactly ½ inch. So anyway, I will see you guys mañana with some more piping sewing. Fun times, fun times. Hi, it's tomorrow. Look, it's even light out when I started. I have to take a break in the middle because I found this. Okay, I didn't find it. Someone else found it and they sent it to me, like all things. Anyway, someone sent me this thing for this house in San Jose that is a Harry Potter house. So me and my friend are gonna go over there today. So the person who's in my bubble with me, not just like any friend who I just go out with because that doesn't happen, but my friend Sarah's gonna come over and it's her night. Like I talk to her on Thursdays anyway. So she's gonna come over and we're gonna go on walkabout to go check out this Harry Potter house that I'm super hype on. So yeah, we did have one disappointment for today and I will show it to you. I messed up. So I got the boning that I ordered already, so it's amazing. It was super fast. This was supposed to be flat steel. They didn't do anything wrong. I did order spiral, so this is on me. So I'm gonna go back right now and order flat steel so that I get it quickly because this place is amazingly fast, like amazingly fast. So I think I ordered this like 2 or 3 days. I don't even know. It's not very long ago. So I'm gonna do that. And then I think I'm gonna make some more piping for a little bit. I did this one. That's my sound effect for that. This is black only. So I'm gonna work on that. And then this is for the collar and this is for the big one. So I'm gonna work on probably making this big one today just to get it done. So, I mean, I'm gonna try to get them all done today. So, but I'm gonna work on this one first because I need to piece together a whole bunch of them, both in black and gold, in order to do that. So I'm gonna work on that. A wild Rox has appeared. This is Roxy. She is half torty in the back and calico in the front. Hi, Rox. What's going on? Are you the cutest? Yeah? Oh, Keanu came in too. Everybody's here. It's a party. Why are you crying, Rox? Roxy looks like a porg. Why are you crying, little girl? Oh, my sweet baby girl. She needs mad cuddles. Such sadness. It's party time because there's Scott. Also, Scott and Roxy are brother and sister, and there went Scott. Scott is all black. I have 3 of them. Is he coming? He's not coming back. Okay. Okay, so this is the website, corsetmakingsupplies.com, or just corsetmaking.com, or you can look up Delicious LLC. I'll link it down below for you, but this is where I get my shiznaz. Alright, I thought I would give you this almost completely unseeable because it's black on black little lesson. So when you join Bias Tape, I mean, there's plenty of YouTube lessons on this, but you're here, so I'll just show you. For those of you, there's 6 of you out there who don't know how to do this. When you join Bias Tape, or any tape really, you want it to sort of be at an angle so there's not like one hard line, so that the line becomes almost invisible. And I'll show you what that looks like over on this one in just a second. So instead of just sewing a line, you could do that, just sew a seam on it. But a sort of more subtle way to do that, especially if you're dealing with like binding issues, is to put them at crossways, and then you sew from this angle down to this corner. And I always think it's this corner to this corner. But what that actually means, what happens there is when you open it back up, it actually folds onto itself. If you do it from this corner to this corner, it will fold open and just become a continuous bias strip. And then you just chop off what's behind it, iron that out, and you just keep going. So I will show you that in just a second. This is a join, as you can see right here. And so when you have it at an angle like that, it's weirdly less noticeable than if it's straight. And it becomes even more noticeable when you're using bias tape to like bind a corset or something. Having it be at an angle, I think, is also slightly stronger for it. Because it's bias tape, if you did it on the straight, or what you would think is the straight, that's actually on the bias. And I think that seam is significantly less strong. If you do it this way, you're essentially doing it on the bias of the bias, which makes it the straight grain. So the seam becomes a lot stronger and it will hold together better. But it also somehow actually does disappear more when it's at an angle rather than when it's straight up and down. And I don't really understand why, but it is true. Like, I have seen this optical illusion. Okay, so here is why I have the grid, so that I can line it up on the grid and make it sure it's actually at a 90-degree angle. And I always put my pin in at the opposite angle of the way I need to go, so that I for sure cross it as I'm going. I just realized this pin allows me to show you what happens if you sew it this way, which is it goes back on itself because the angle is backwards. Okay, so there she be. I'm going to trim off the excess. So there's that. And then when you open it up, it is a perfectly straight line. Now the trick really is that I have two of these. So inevitably, every single time I do this, the second one I join, I will join backwards so that the seam is on the wrong side. So I have to endeavor to focus to get that to work properly. But first I'm going to go iron this, and I'm going to iron it flat this way first to set the stitches, and then iron it open. And I'm not going to open these up, I'm just going to let it lay one way. Opening them up is more like even, but like I don't care. I'm just going to iron it, it's fine. And then I'll attach another one. Almost did it. So you want the side that is the right side to be up when you do it, even though it looks like it's going to be wrong, because when you flip this open, it will be the right side again, and the stuff will fall to the back. Basically, I would pin it and try it, like pin it the other way, so it's like that, because that's the way the seam is actually going to go, is this way. Pin it, try it, make sure it's all open the right way, so that you keep your seam line on the right side of the tape. I do this every time, guys, like forever. Also, you might be able to see that I did both of my seams. Where's the other one? Here, it's right, it's actually right here. I did them the same way, so they actually both face that way. I've seen Miss Jen Makes do them so that they go in opposite directions, and I think that lets you take advantage of like this cut on it. I'm not that skilled. I haven't even got that focus yet, and frankly I'm just worried about keeping them on the right side of the damn tape. So this is what's happening for now, but I will learn that method and I will adopt it at some point, but this is what we've got. Ooh, time for dinner. Bye. Okay, so we are at this, let me see if I can get this to focus on my face. We are at this Harry Potter house, and we're waiting in line to go like check it out because it's socially distanced, although there's a lot of folks here, and there's big dogs and stuff. They even have spiders coming out of the ground. For those of you who have never seen Sarah, this is Sarah. She's filming. This is my bubble buddy. Hi. I love that it's an educational decree.
This is required for middle.
Oh my god!
Somebody send me Universal.
This is crazy. Okay, so that was a 10 out of 10 would cruise by again. You guys have a rating?
10 out of 10.
Definitely walkable.
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. So this other house has this thing went up first because we walk through this neighborhood, and they put this out first, and I was like, oh, this is so pretty, I love this. And then they put up this national nightmare of like, I don't even know, they don't have one of the lights on, so it's hard to show you. It's like creepy doll land.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, and then like this lady weirds me out. Like I'm like a giant nope to this whole situation, and I don't know what's going on at her feet.
Oh my god, there's a baby bottle with blood in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's all not okay. Like it's just not okay. And when we have to walk past here, I'm always like, Okay, I'm back. I am also wearing my crazy monster hoodie, which I love. And it has spiky mess and like spikes going down the back. So my friend Sarah, who was just over here, also has a monster hoodie, but she has a different color. We got them when we were at Hollywood and Highland. There's like a mall there. One time because we go to these Disney play. No. So what they do is they show a Disney movie, right? And then a live orchestra plays. You guys know what these are. Live orchestra plays, and then famous people come out and sing the parts, right? So like we've been to see The Little Mermaid, I think twice now, maybe? Yeah, twice, but with different sets of people. And we saw Coco, and I've been to The Night Before Christmas at least twice. So like just it's really fun. So we go to Disney. We go to Disney live shows at the Hollywood Bowl in LA. And so we found these hoodies and they were only like, I think they were like 20 bucks. So we wear them all the time at Halloween. So she'll be back in 2 days on Halloween too, because it is 2 days before Halloween, as it turns out. So we hung out for a while, so it's now like 11:30 at night. But okay, I'm gonna go back to making piping, and hopefully I will get a bunch of that done tonight, because that would be pretty sweet. I would love to start actually putting this bodice together tomorrow, hopefully. We'll see. Okay, we have a whole bunch of piping here. We have one piece of piping that actually needs a gold strip added to it, but I need to cut that because this one is obviously not long enough to deal with this. It's long enough for the piece that I need, but I'm scared that that piece might get a little bit longer because it's the collar, and I still do want to figure that part out. So I want to make this one longer so that I have more room to play with it. So I'm gonna just cut that, but it's 4:30 in the morning. I had a little Mandalorian situation go down. So I'm gonna wait until tomorrow and cut myself when I'm not tired. And then sew that together, and then all the piping will be done. So that'll be fantastic. Catch you on the flip side. Hi. Every day I'm like, I have all day tomorrow to sew. It's gonna be fantastic. I just have to do this one little thing and then it'll be great. Every day I'm like, hi, it's 2:30 in the morning. I'm ready to sew now. Well, I mean, it doesn't help that I get up at like 2. Today I got up at noon because I was attending a, do you guys know who Zoella is? Zoe Sugg. She is one of the first beauty YouTubers, and she's been doing it for a really long time. She's also like, I think she's the first female to hit 10 million viewers. She might have been the first female to hit 1 million viewers. I don't know. She's been around a really long time, and I've watched her like the entire time she was on. Since she was super young and I was way younger, because she's been doing this for I think 11 years, she said the other day, and I think that sounds about right. Anyway, she launched a book today. She co-wrote, like she wrote half the chapters and another person wrote the other half of the chapters, because the book is from 2 voices and they each wrote one of the voices. It's a young adult novel. But anyway, I went to like it would be a book signing if it was like regular times, but it wasn't. It was like a Zoom thing where they just answered predetermined questions for an hour. Not Focus though. Hey, what's up, Focus? Anyway, I just pushed out my 20 questions with Yule, which is cool, and I'm looking at, meanwhile, because I asked what is your favorite conspiracy theory, and then I'm like, what is mine? And I'm like, I think it's Freemasonry, but you know, also Area 51. That's a good one. The Freemason stuff I find very amusing because I was in a Masonic organization, so I'm just like, yeah, no. Probably not. I mean, maybe, but probably not. So I was reading this article on Wiki just now. Probably, anyway, I pushed that video out because this video is going to take longer than I sort of wanted it to take, but it's mostly because I'm being chill and just letting myself like work a little bit each day, which is something I tell you guys to do. So I'm doing the same for me, and honestly, it's making me much happier about working on stuff, so it's working, and so am I. I hope you guys liked that haunted, it wasn't even a haunted house, those like houses that I was showing you. I have no idea whether or not they are gonna try to nail me for copyright for the sound effects, so if there's a different soundtrack on top of the video, you know that's what happened, and it's not. It should be Harry Potter music, and then also Pirates of the Caribbean music, but if that's not what you heard, that's what happened. And if it is what you heard, then they didn't hit me with a copyright strike yet. So we'll see. I would really, like, you can't help where you are. Like, that's not fair. I didn't put that music over my video. Like, it's just where I am. I've also never had a problem filming at a theme park and then putting that up. And there's that music going on all the time in the background, so we shall see what happens. Anyway, I am gonna cut the other gold strip for this and make this other piping, and then it will be time to start sewing the bodice together. And I think it's gonna go real quick and then it's gonna slow way down because tomorrow's Halloween and my friend's coming over fairly early in the afternoon. We have to like clean up our house before she comes over and like figure out dinner and all that stuff. So I'm probably not gonna sew tomorrow, I would imagine. So it'll be Sunday. So who knows? But also I think it's gonna go real fast while this, like, I sew these 10 seams together and then bag line the lining into it and do all those sorts of things. And then I think it's gonna slow way down because I'm gonna have to put all the buttons on and I'm gonna be like, okay, go to the button situation. Because the buttonhole situation, you know, like if you mess with the buttonholes, it's there forever and it's in silk. That seems to run also, so I'm kind of nervous about that situation, but we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna get working. Okay, this pile is now complete and I am going to sew the darts in on this, which means I need to figure out thread, because I haven't really done that yet. I think it's the same thread as the skirt, so it should be around here somewhere, but I gotta find that. So I'm gonna mark the darts first. While I wait for this iron to heat up, I can totes do that. Woo woo. I'm actually getting things checked off this week, despite the fact that it's kind of feeling slow. I'm okay with how slow it's feeling, that's fine. First set of darts are in, and now I'm gonna go do the other ones. It's already like somehow 2 o'clock in the morning. It's my life. Okay, I am actually taking my sweet time with this on purpose. I have sewn this guy, I've measured it, pinned it, and then sewn it on. So it's exactly at 1/2 inch, which is the seam allowance. And now I'm gonna, because this is the only part of the piping that I have to do before I put the rest of the bodice together. It's just this one back curve, right? So I feel good about how this went on. So I'm gonna go ahead and sew the back piece on and see how that goes, and hopefully it's amazing and I have a wonderful experience and our lives will move on in a wonderful way. If you hear screaming, that's me. So the reason that this is stressing me out a little bit is that because there's, you know, this twill in here and it's so many layers at this point, because it's like 2 layers of silk for this, and then another layer of silk on each side, and then twill on these. There's like 6 layers of fabric in here. I can't actually see or feel the piping because the piping is so small, which means like when I go to sew it, I won't know if I'm in the right spot or not. Okay, it's a leap of faith that I pinned it all correctly and I'm gonna do a seam allowance correctly. Oh, also because of the way my zipper foot is, it's like over 2 spots, like, you know, the needle position goes toot toot. So the 1/2 inch mark is not correct, so I have to go figure out which mark is correct for that. But okay, so the first line here is my basting line from attaching the pipings just to this particular piece, so ignore that one. The second line is my 1/2 inch mark, which I very carefully sewed along very slowly. And then I opened it up and it was too loose, like there was too much of like, it was sticking out like that much. And I was like, nope. So I went by, now that that one was down, I went by feel with the zipper foot and I snugged it up a little bit. And we got a pretty good result here. Like, I'm pretty dang happy with that. So I'm gonna go iron this down and be pleased with myself. And if I get these just 2 pieces done tonight and just piped in, I will feel absolutely solid about today. Okay, the whole back's together, which is awesome. I'm hype on that. I need to put the front on, so just this seam, which actually I'm gonna make a less seam allowance. I did it on the lining as well. So just to hedge my bets on everything. And then the shoulder seams, and this guy will be together but for sleeves. So awesome. I keep thinking I should go to bed because it's like 4. I kind of want to put on those, but I know it'll take longer than I think it will, so I think I'm going to be wise tonight and just call it a win that I got this done. So I think that's where I'm going to stop for now. We'll see where I get to next time. Hello, it is now November 1st. I told you I was taking Halloween off, and we had a really good time. We watched, I think, 4 movies. We watched Labyrinth, we watched Hocus Pocus, we watched It's a Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, and Nightmare Before Christmas. So we watched a lot of Halloween last night and had a good time. We had 0 trick-or-treaters. This eye is like irritated today, so if it's puffy, that's why. I also am busting out another late 90s Noel hairstyle today, the bandana look. Early 90s, which would be my like early teen years, this bandana would be curled around itself to form a headband like situation. I might break that one out too. I was like, why did I stop doing this? It's actually very comfortable. Anyway, it's like 5:30, 5:20, and it's like already pitch black outside, so cool beans, time changes happened. I was very excited to get that extra hour last night though. That was some good stuff. So I thought, I was like, oh, I could finish this. It's no problem. All I have to do is get the sleeves together and then I have to put the bag line in and we're all done. No, because there's all this boning that has to be done, and Marika, last time we were both working on bodices at the same time, she was like, oh, I started, oh, I'm done, and it was like a half an hour, and I was like, that took me like 10 hours to like hand stitch in all the boning. I hope it's faster this time, but I also need to make all the buttons, get all the buttonholes in, and do all that kind of stuff, so it's not happening in this vlog, and this vlog has already been a week. So I'm going to do whatever I'm going to do today, and then I'm going to quit this vlog, and I guess I have one more vlog until this is done. Lasai. And then we can move on to hats, because hats are fun. I cannot wait for this to be done though. Like, I'm ready. I'm ready for this to be complete, and for me to be able to wear this. It's nicely timed though, because it'll be Christmassy. Anyway, I think I'm going to sew these last 2 seams together. Well, 4 seams, two pairs of seams. And then I am going to work on the sleeves and get those set up together, and I have to do the cuffs and put the piping into the cuffs. And man, that very like edge, the last edge, the one that comes at your wrist, the wrist edge is the words that I'm looking for. That's going to be crazy because it will have the lining, the regular fabric, the piping, and the cuff all in one seam. I'm like, cool. I hate thick seams. I hate them. I also put on a very thin needle onto this. It's a 7, I think. It's whatever you're supposed to use for silk taffeta. So yeah, I hope it holds up through that. Maybe it'll be better maybe it's better that it's thinner, so it's just more likely to break. So we'll give it a go and see how it goes. Okay, go. Okay, we have a kind of a bodice happening. So that's a thing. Wonderful. I kind of regret not putting piping here, but also it's going to be around the neck and then around the collar, so it's probably enough. But yeah, I think it looks really good. So I'm going to go try to get some sleeves together and see how that works out. Okay, so I have screwed the pooch on this. I think, so for various reasons, like the cording gets tucked in here. This whole thing, this is a cuff, by the way. It just like screwed the pooch. Like it is, the piping is not designed to go around complex curves like this quickly, I think. So I'm not totally sure what to do. I mean, I clipped it and everything before I sewed it, and still it has to do this craziness, and I'm not excited about that. And ugh, I think what I'm actually going to do is just make gold cuffs and not worry about this piping. There will be piping, I think, here, so we'll see about that, but I think I'm just going to put a length of black in there. But man, this is a mess. I'm going to have to do more experimentation, but I kind of don't want to do that right now. This cuff, by the way, should look something like this. So you can see that this is a disaster. It's okay. I'm fine with that. I'm just gonna like cut one more so I can have 2 cuffs, and I'm gonna toss this because this is just a mess. And there's one proper cuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut out another one of these and make it. And then I'm also gonna I'm gonna make the inside of the collar this color as well. So I'm gonna do that. Cut that out now too. The reason it's light out and I'm in different clothes is because I passed out last night. My husband came in to talk to me and I was just like, blah, 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 blah. And then I was like, I'm just gonna go sit down for a minute. No, that was the end of that. I went to sleep. So I slept a really long time. Actually, that happens to me quite a bit where, like, I don't actually sleep that much. I mean, I sleep like maybe 5 or 6 hours every night. And then 1 or 2 nights a week, I'll sleep like 10. So, that happened. So I'm gonna do a little bit more sewing and then call this vlog so that I can edit it, because I have a really busy day actually. I have a new like job. I am helping out clean up a website. So I need to start working on that kind of stuff, and I probably should have done that last night, but I didn't. So it's gotta happen today. And then I'm filming 20 questions today because one is at 8 p.m. and one is at 1 a.m. because it's with someone in England, and they show up as different days in my calendar. So when I set the first one first, and then I set the second one, the first one was on Tuesday. I set that Tuesday at 1 a.m. I set that one first, and then when I went to set the Monday one, I was like, oh, I thought I had one on Monday. I guess I don't. And I put one in for Monday. I really did. It's just like at night, you know, it's really on Tuesday morning. So anyway, that's a long explanation for, oh, didn't expect that, but it's fine, I'll just do it. So anyway, I've got a pretty busy day, so I'm just gonna finish this cuff up, maybe sew some sleeves together. I don't think I'll get them complete, and I'll just finish this whole thing up in the next vlog. So hopefully this bodice will be done in the next vlog. That is my like goal, and I'm going for goals. Okay, I got sleeves sewn, cuffs are sewn, everything's ready to get installed together. I am going to leave this vlog here though because it's been more than a week, and even though it doesn't seem like I got a lot done, I actually feel like I did. I sewed a lot more hours than I normally do, but it's largely because I was being fiddly with everything and just sort of like chug 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 along, so it is the way it is this week. I hope you guys enjoyed the Halloween fiasco this week. It was really fun to go check that out and get to video it, but that was pretty neat. I didn't think I was going to get any festivity stuff, so I'm pretty pumped on that. We did sign up to go through, there's like a light festival that happens in a park every year, and normally you can walk through it, but they're having drive-through only. But I'm going to see if I can like mount my camera in my car and record the light show for you for Christmas time too. I think we're doing that in December, so in December there'll be a light show as well. That'll be super fun. Okay, so I will check you guys next week where I will, knock on wood, finish this bodice, because man, do I want it done. And then we can move on to hats, and that should be fun. I also wanted to get that buying guide sorted, so I might stick one of those in here too at some point, we'll see. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that, and I will see you guys next time with another vlog. Bye guys!